Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and we're going to do our color challenge today, but first I wanted to show you my new digi. This one is called Easter Bonnet. I didn't know if I was going to get this done, but I did, with my son's help. So there's 4 of these collage pages. There's a total of 19 pages. There's 4 just all collage, no journaling spots really, or you know, any of that. I mean, there's places you could probably get away with writing, but, you know. So there's those, because these are collages that I just scanned. And then there are, I think it's 5 of these pages with the ladies on them, and my printer is doing strange things like putting lines, so yours won't have those lines. It's just that my printer's being weird. So I wanted to tell you guys, too, that I'm not going to be able to print digis for you for a while until I can figure out what that is, because I can only print like 5 pages and then it starts doing weird things. So because of that, I want to save my printing for my journals, because otherwise I can't do journals, you know, if I'm doing that, and I'm throwing away a lot of paper, and so yeah. Anyway, I can't print digis for a bit until I can figure out why it's doing that. So there's these 5 of those, and there's, you know, doilies and bunnies and the ladies. These are all from the 1800s. And then these images were with the ladies in the books that I found. I mean, this one could go either direction, it doesn't really matter, but so I put them on dyed paper, you know, paper that I had dyed. And so this is how they came out, and so I thought they were kind of fun because they're all different colors, but originally they were just kind of sepia toned drawings. But I got the color on them, so they look kind of cool. So I thought they'd be good background papers. I think there's 6 of these. And then there's ephemera pages, 3 pages of ephemera. So it's 19 pages total. And then I did some of just fussy cutting, you know, fussy cut ladies. And, you know, butterflies and bunnies. Oh, I guess there's 4. I thought it was 3. 4 pages of the ephemera. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys that before we started the color challenge, and I forgot to show you. So I will be right back. I'm just going to gather my things. Okay, hi, I'm back. Alright, so I've gotten together some green things, just all kinds of random stuff, fabrics and trims, and this is little play money from the school. They were going to throw all this stuff away, so I took it and I coffee dyed it and wrinkled it and did all that. And then I've got some flowers and just some ephemera to decorate with, baker's twine, fabrics, so yeah, just all kinds of little things to decorate with. Now, I don't know exactly what we're going to do here, but we're going to try to make as many ephemera pieces as we can in an hour using mainly green. I can use like, you know, coffee dyed tones, things like that for other paper, neutrals, you know, but, and like it can have other colors, it's just we want the end piece to have mostly green, kind of is what I'm thinking with this color challenge. So our colors are going to be these colors here, plus, well, there's black here, but brown, I think we'll do brown. And then maybe instead of like both of these, we're just going to do like dark blues, so that you could use either this one or this one. But I want to do that lighter kind of duck egg blue too. So one day I'll be that, and one day I'll be these, you know, type colors. Blue, we'll just say blue. All right, so I just have some bases, some index cards, and, you know, all these random pieces that we can play with. And then I just have some book pages to play with. So one of the first things I want to do is an index card, because I saw something kind of cool on Pinterest that I wanted to try, and you use one of these little, I might need a bigger index card, huh? One of the big index cards, if I have one. I don't think I have a coffee dyed one. I didn't even check the size, I just grabbed stuff that I had. Oh, I got one. All right, so we'll use the bigger one instead of the smaller one, just because I don't want it hanging off. But you use one of these and put fabric around it, but it's like faux, so it's not an actual fabric spool. Like, you're not using it for the fabric on it, you're just using it as a decoration. So I thought that was kind of a fun little something to do. So, like I said, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'm sorry about the printing of the digi thing. I don't know what is going on with my printer, and until I can get it working well again, I just can't do that because I'm just wasting paper, and I already have to, you know, print my stuff for my journals and stuff, so just the least I can print, the better. I'm just going to say that, because it's just kind of a pain. I think I'm going to decorate the side. I'll leave the lines so you can journal on the lines, right? All right, so that should be good because that's pretty covered. And then we can take, I don't know what I want to use exactly, but I have this little crazy color fabric in green and pink and kind of a purple. This is a vintage fabric. But see, the idea is that you just kind of glue it down like that so it looks like it's got fabric around it, you know. So yeah, just trying to figure out what else I want to put on there. I could use some of our papers. Something out of this, since I have it. That's kind of cool. And we'll just work on this for 60 minutes is kind of what I was thinking. See how many pieces you can get in 60 minutes. Could kind of do the postcard thing. I think I just kind of like that first one. The rulers are kind of neat. Yeah, maybe I'll do rulers since it's like a sewing spool theme. And I know these aren't green, but that's okay. You can use it. It's not like super strict. It's more how much can I do in an hour kind of thing. All right, let's just tear a piece of this. And we're just going to kind of go about the size of the card here. I just like the idea of the challenges. I know me, and I'm worried that that alphabet challenge would be too long for me. I think I would get, like, not bored because it's boring. It's just, I don't know. I lose interest in doing those really long things. So, and that's my problem, not anybody else's. It's just my brain has to be doing different things. So I hope everybody's healthy and, you know, staying out of the fray. I'm trying to. I did run to the grocery store this morning because I dropped off a package, and it wasn't bad in there at all. It was pretty quiet, but of course it's really early still. But you know, there's no toilet paper still. I did manage to nab a roll, or, you know, a package, not just one roll, but a package of them. I don't know if I like that together. It's like it needs something else, but maybe we can put something else with it. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just grabbing another piece of paper. Oh, I don't know. That's kind of wow, huh? Ooh, this might be harder than I thought to do this green thing. I've got this onion skin paper that I got from Marianne. That might work. That's upside down. But here, maybe I need a different fabric. That might be it too. Let's see what else we got. That might look better. That doesn't have much green, but I mean it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I think I like that better with that. Maybe I just like the fabric better. I don't know. But either way, this is what we're going to use. So my poor daughter's sick. Like, she just has a sore throat and, you know, gunky nose kind of thing. No trouble breathing or anything like that, just a cold. But I called the school so she could stay home today because they're only going 2 days this week and then they're out until, I don't know, the end of March or whatever. And the attendance office was like, so you're calling her out for both days, Monday and Tuesday? And I was like, well, she has a cold. She just doesn't feel good today, but, you know, she might be feeling a little better tomorrow. And they're like, nope, she can't come in. Okay, then I guess I'm calling her out for both days. Which I get. They don't want, you know, they don't want everybody getting crazy about the whole thing. But she hasn't had any fevers or anything. She just sore throat. Junk. I mean, she could have strep. That's possible. It just hasn't been long enough yet to check on that. Alright. I think that is cute. And maybe we can use some of our green ephemera with it. And this spool, fabric spool thing is from my 1923 add-on digi. So if you're looking for those spools. I also know that Denise at Wonder Bar Crafts has lots of spools in her you know, in her digitals. She does those quite often. That's the only one that I have it in, and she's the one that actually made those spools for me. So we could use one of those. That's from Shabby Dabby Doodah. This one wasn't supposed to go in here. That's supposed to be for a later one. Trying to, you know, when I see colors that'll work, I try to grab them. So maybe we'll do something like that. This is an image that I just had. I don't even know where I got it. So sorry about that. But you can use whatever, you know, vintage type. Or it doesn't even have to be vintage. So yeah, I don't know what is going on with my printer, but that is going to drive me over the edge because, like I said, I mean, it's no rhyme or reason. Like, it's not exactly the 5th page that does that. And I have redone all the alignment, you know, gone through each section and, like, done vertical, horizontal alignment, all that on it. And I just cannot get it to, like I said, every 5th page or so. I mean, it's not always the 5th page, but it will just do something weird and put either lines through the whole page or a portion of the page or whatever. And so then I can't even use those digis like on my own because they're just, they don't look good, you know? So I don't know what is going on with it, but it's really annoying because, like I said, I've tried everything I can think of. I don't know what else to do to it other than obviously take it in somewhere, but they probably end up charging me more than the printer's worth. I don't want to get a new one. We've only had it for like 2 years, maybe, if that. But of course it's over a year, so the warranty is out on it. And we didn't get one of those extended ones on it, because usually that's just a racket. Fun stuff. But I feel bad for the people that, you know, can't print their own digis for whatever reason. It's like I'd like to be able to do that, offer that, but I just don't think I can right now. I could figure it out. Let's see what else would look good on there. I'm just looking through my little basket over here. Just got this piece of scrap paper. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I could look at some of my, I got out my green bag of scraps. Green bag o' scraps. This one might kind of actually look good. It's green and pink polka dots. Except it's way different than that, huh? And the dress. It's more of a, closer to a Kelly kind of a green. That's a little better, but not great. It's a different polka dot one. Oh my gosh, I've already wasted 12 minutes. I'm really going to be good at this, huh? This is why that 30-minute thing doesn't work for me with timers and stuff, because I would be freaking out. That one wouldn't be bad. As far as color goes, it's not very exciting, but yeah, so I sort my scraps by color, but I don't know. It's not the perfect system either by any means. Are these all green? Ooh, because this is neat. That's from ages and ages ago. You can kind of tell by the die cut mousse there. But these polka dots would be really cute on there. So let's do that. This is like a, I don't even know, it's a fabric, but it's really stiff. Which will work fabulous. Alright, let's get some glue going. Sorry, I just got a big old string on my glue. Surprise, surprise. I made a whole bunch of fabric pockets for a custom thing, and I now have glue stuck to, string stuck to everything. Yeah, so if you're looking for these numbers, that like if you don't have one of those number stamps, like I don't have one, Shabby Dabby Doodah has those, you know, cut out pieces with the numbers like that on them. Oh my gosh, can I glue or no? No. And that's way closer on the sides. Helps if you pay attention to the size of the paper when you take it off, right? Wow, what is my dealio? There's gonna be no stick left to this. Whatever it is now, it is. I'm not taking it off again. It's fine. Alright, I'm gonna cut this with some pinking shears, and we'll do about the whole, almost the length of it there. And then I just want to go down the sides. So yeah, I know we're not all going to have the same thing, but at least, you know, we can craft together and play with some color, because like I said, sometimes I get stuck in my rut. I didn't think I had very much green though, and I went through and found all kinds of stuff, so you know, you surprise yourself sometimes and have more than you think you do. Alright, so we're going to put that there. Not with that. It's like fabric, but it's kind of thin, so I think it's just really stiff. Love to find more of that. I don't even know where that came. I mean, it was a long time ago, but that would be fun. Wonder if you starch fabric, if it does that. I don't really know. We never did much starching of anything. I know that that was popular, but growing up with just my dad, we didn't, you know, he didn't use starch. I kind of feel like I need something else. I don't know what. That there. Just like a piece of something. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think I'll just go with that because I can't seem to get my act together this morning. It's like I gotta get going, you know. If I think of something else to put on there, I will. But I love this idea of using these this way, because I'm not very good about organizing things enough to wrap all my fabrics around those cards or anything. I wish I was like that. Just wrinkle it a little. Alright, so there's one, and I will stitch around it, but like I said, I can't really do that on camera. So I'm going to go on to the next thing, but I think that turned out cute. And you wouldn't have to stitch, and then that way you can write on the back. Nice big journaling card. So there's one thing. Woo! I'm doing great. Let's alter what do you call these things? Flashcard. I'm going to actually use some of this green tissue. And I know that it's just green. If you have some cool fancy one, then by all means do that. So this side's kind of shiny, so I think I'm going to put the shiny side down so that the matte side is up. If that makes sense. And I'm just going to glue it right on here. And I have no idea what this is going to turn out like. But we'll find out. And if you wanted to coffee dye this first, I'm going to do a little bit of squishing and squeezing here. Just rip that. Or if you had cool napkins too, like that had green. I just don't have a whole lot of that. And plus I just thought it would be fun to use the actual tissue paper that was the inspiration for this craziness. And if the edges start to come, like see that one's coming up, that happens when you do the playing cards with the tea bags as well. Just put a little glue if you can. So it stays down, but it's not really a big deal. And it's going to roll. I guess the good news about COVID-19, from what I've heard, I guess they don't totally know yet, but they think once you've had it, you'll be immune to it. You know, other than the fact that sometimes these flu-type viruses change, you know, mutate, so that, you know, next year you could get it again, but it's also possible that you'll be immune for a certain number of years or whatever. So that's kind of nice, at least. Hopefully that's the case. And then on the back here, I'm going to put some of this so that you can kind of write, but you can at least still, you know, see through it. And I want this side that has more lines. And I'm going to tear this a little. I know these numbers are here, and I might be partially off camera, but I'll try to straighten up here as soon as I rip this. I need to move stuff out of the way. But still, I still cannot believe the toilet paper thing. There's still no toilet paper. I'm lucky that one day I just happened to check because I ran in for something else. And there were like 4 packages left, so I grabbed one. Probably should have grabbed 2, but I you know, I want to leave some for other people because we all use it. So it's like, they weren't the big packages either. They're just the normal size packages. Well, I may not get very many pieces done. Hopefully I'll get faster at it. I don't know. Probably not. But even if I can get like a few done, then I'll be happy because it just makes more stuff to go in journals. And when you're doing this, you don't have to make any certain amount. That's not what the rules are. Not that there's a lot of rules anyway, but it's mostly just the color. Just use color. That's really what I'm trying to do. And get some ephemera made. Okay, so now what do we want to put on the front? The lid on the glue before it dries out entirely. Got all kinds of little things. And I kind of did, you know, St. Patrick's Day, but I didn't make it so, you know, so much St. Patrick's Day that you couldn't use it for other stuff. Was kind of what I was thinking. I want to totally cover up the numbers because that's kind of fun. I don't know. I don't know that I like that. It's not always the way. Oh, and I got this fabric from Jamie. So I'm using your fabric, Jamie. Thank you so much. So awesome of her to send some of her goodies, you know? Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is this. I'm going to kind of scrunch this fabric on here for now because I'm not sewing on camera, so that, you know, it's got some pleats kind of to it. And I like all the strings. I'm fine with that. It's kind of fun. Sometimes if you put just a little bit of glue on the back of there too to help the pleats stay when you're kind of squishing and moving. So I hope everybody's getting lots of crafting done since they're, you know, kind of stuck at home and everything. It's funny because my husband and I were talking yesterday and we were watching stuff on the news and whatever, and they're like, you know, that movies have sold out at, you know, just even the cheap movies like at Walmart, and because people are trying to find stuff to do, especially like for their kids. And I said that's one advantage of being a crafter, because like we have no problem at all staying home. We always find stuff to do. And I don't really mind staying home at all. In fact, I prefer it. I only really go somewhere if I have to, as it is, so. Because I don't relish it. I said those strings didn't bother me, and now I'm cutting them off because they were bothering me. Thought I liked them at first, but it turns out, nope. Okay, so I like that. I don't know if I like this thing. What do I do with my... Do I want to use a different... And that one kind of looks good on there. And it doesn't really need anything else. I think I'm going to use that one instead. I don't know what's with the rulers. I'm just liking the rulers all of a sudden. This has a little too much white on it and I can't get it. So I think I'll just use this. It's less expensive. Works really good. I don't notice that unless I use just gobs too, but I don't notice it really wrinkles stuff up. I mean, you'll get a little bit of like, you know, ripples sometimes for a little while, but then it seems like it will straighten out, so I don't know. Plus it doesn't smell like anything, which I love. I mean, it smells a little bit like white glue, you know, but it doesn't have any noxious odors. I found this image on Pinterest. I just searched green or vintage green images or something like that, and I found all kinds of fun things that I could use on this stuff. Mostly that Victorian era is pretty safe for copyright too, which is what this is. I have to make sure her hat will fit, right? I want a little bit of the number there. And then maybe we could use one of Tina definitions at Shabby Dabby Doodah. It says home. Treasure would be cute. Inspire, flower. Oh, dream would be cute. Let's do that one. So I can't remember what the number one is called. Oh, sorry. But it's her definitions and numbers. They're two separate digis of Tina's. There was glue on that, so it made it more inked than normal. This one's almost gone. I need to just use it up. Oh, jeez. Oh, so I was wondering, because I got thinking on my car ride home this morning, that we got talking about the sticker collecting. And I'm curious for people that live out of the country if that was also a thing. Like if you were a, you know, 10, 12-year-old, somewhere around there in the 80s, if everybody collected stickers or that was just here in the US, or, you know, just curious. I like hearing about that kind of stuff. I think that's fun. So I was listening to 70s music on the way home. It's just funny to think about now. Okay, so there's that card. Oh, you know, oh, we covered that so that you can write on it. All right, so we have 2 journaling cards, so maybe we should make something else now. What time are we at? 31. So maybe we could do like a pocket. have this, and this one, that I guess this is sort of like cheating, but I already had this made up like for a while. I made one of these not too long ago, and I made 2 of them up, but it's just manila file folder that I folded and you know, cut the tab and all that and stitched around it so it makes a pocket. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this somehow. Some green trim there. Rick Rack. Wow, that was like the worst tear job ever. I don't know why I forget and leave stuff under there and try to tear it. It doesn't work. My poor girl's down there coughing gunk. I'm going to keep an eye on her because if she does get a fever, I don't know where in the world she would have gotten coronavirus. We do have 2 cases, but they're both in Boise, and we haven't been to Boise in ages, so I don't know. Hopefully she didn't pick it up somewhere. Or she'll be done, one of the 2, with that virus. I'm just going to kind of bend this back and forth. And I don't want a perfect tear there. Okay, just so it'll fit a little better on here because of that, the way that tab goes down. All right, let's see what paper we want to use for this. Hip pop. Falling apart. That one would be good. So again, these are Park Lane papery. This is Time Worn Textiles, and then I have the Heirloom as the big tablet, and I got them at Joann's Fabric and Crafts. So if you are interested in those, that's where I got them. And they really weren't, well, I mean, granted, they were 60% off when I got them, but even original price wasn't that bad for all the paper that you get. I think one was like $14 and the other one was $19 or something like that, but very often you can get sales in there. So, or take a coupon or whatever. Because I know a lot of people don't have printers, and I understand, but you don't have to use digis. There are lots of paper possibilities, truly, still. And I'm ripping on top of this again, huh? Never learn. I never learn. Never, never. Okay, so we have this to go on this side. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll go all the way over. And then we have that tab that comes, or that part that comes down. This is always the tricky part for me. So I'm just going to kind of feel back behind here and tear this a little bit, so that it'll have kind of that spot where the tab is. And check, like, another great place is like thrift stores and stuff like that too, because they're garage sales, you know, people like get rid of this kind of stuff all the time. So all right, let's get that glued down and then we can figure out what else we want on there. That'll be a fun pocket. It's kind of wide, but I think it would work on most journal pages, except for maybe a traveler's notebook. That wouldn't work great because it's a little too wide for that, but pretty much any other journal. Kind of want to see at least some of the stitching, so This page is getting gross. I keep trying to grab the tacky glue. Another big thing that we did when we were teenagers, I don't know why I just thought of this, but I did. I don't know about you guys, but Duran Duran was pretty new and big. And some of my friends had Duran Duran jackets, but we all collected the, like, those button pins. And just those in general were pretty popular. Like, people had them for other stuff too, not just Duran Duran. But, yeah, so that's kind of funny to think about the collection of the pins all over your satin jacket or whatever. It's kind of comical. Do I like the bird? Kind of like the bird without the kids. Which bird? I like this one. I think I'll do the bird. Maybe not the kids on this one. What else could we put on there? Oh, I know, it might be kind of cool. I even went and found this old mailbox on Pinterest, but the background is too close to the background. What if I put a piece of this or a piece of lace? Because this is really close to this color. Or I could do something totally different. That might be kind of fun. Or even one of those, because they squish. They're just those fabric rosettes. I think I got those at Hobby Lobby, I think. I've had them for a while. I always forget I have them. See, that's the other good thing about this. If you go around through your stash with a basket and just put green stuff or whatever color stuff in, then it gives you a good idea of, you know, what you've got. And it helps you use stuff that you don't normally use. This is some jewelry that I got from Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. Sure how I want it here, how much of it I want. Like that will work. Trying to roll away. I feel so bad for the people in Italy. It is just awful. So many people have died, and I know a lot of it is that they have a large elderly population, more so even than here or other places, and I guess that's been what the issue is. It's just horrible for anybody to go through all that. I mean, seriously. I've been watching Rachel at Roxy Creations every day just to kind of see how she's doing. She seems to be faring pretty well, stressed, or, you know, but I get that. Yeah, anybody would be. I think I just want one. I think 3 is a little excessive. And then I think I'm going to take some of this crazy green tulle. This is, I got from Denise at one of our crafts last year. She had like spring kits of all Kool-Aid dyed stuff. And this was in there, and I didn't get much of it used last year, but I think it would look kind of cool under here somehow, just for some more texture. I'm going to try to tear it a little. The stuff tears weird, but I don't want that perfect edge, so. Just kind of doing a weird cut so that it'll not be so straight edged. Now it's all over this. Because you can still see through it. I'll gather it a little bit, I think. I don't want tons of glue under this because you'll be able to see it. But I will put a good amount on here. Yeah, my kids on Friday were watching the CDC website because at that time Idaho didn't have any reported cases. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have any cases, we just didn't have any at that time. And it was, I can't remember if it was north or south or what, but Virginia, I'm not sure. Anyway, they didn't either. And so the kids were like, are we going to win? I'm like, I don't know that you're winning anything, but they wanted to be the last state to not have any cases yet, but we weren't. Like 10 minutes later, we got our first reported one. This is just one of the stamps that I've put them in digis and stuff. I get them on New York Public Library. But yeah. Doesn't really want to stick there. Alright, so there is another one, and what are we going to do now? We could do a card to fit inside of that. I have those two cards. Oh, we should put like something up on here. Let's see, I could put one of these number things. Number 9, I don't know why, just the first one I grabbed. Well, I'm going to be lucky to have, 3 and 60. Hence the reason I don't do the 3 and 30. I'm a little slow. Some days I'm faster, but not very often. It takes me too long to think of how I want to put stuff and what I want to put on there and all that. I think I'm too, I don't know what you call it, but there's this little scrap of paper I might use back here. That was left over from my Dioro digi. This is why we don't throw away our scraps, right? And this one's already stitched around, so I don't have to do any more stitching to it. Alright, there's that. I'm going to see, I think this one would fit in there. Yes, that would. So we'll just do that and see if we can make something else. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I have those little flowers that I was showing you. And I made these a long time ago on my channel, but it's been a long time, and I've gotten a lot of subscribers since then, so I think I'll do it again, just for a little fun thing to do, that you can do. Alright, so like, you need all different, and these are all the same punch, it's just one of these whale punches with that flower. And I know we don't really use a lot of these kind of flowers necessarily anymore, we did in scrapbooking, but I just snipped the tips with different, you know, pinking shears or whatever scissors you want to use, and then add another layer, like maybe we'll put this one behind. And so this one I'll kind of snip a little bit less. And then I'll take a book page or something to, you know, break it up. You don't want like it all to end up looking the same. And on this one I'm going to cut a little more because I want them to be a little bit shorter. I mean, you're staggering them anyway, so it's not going to make like a huge difference, but it just gives you some variation, you know? And then maybe this one on the top. Oops. In the middle. And we'll use my little hole punch. I'm actually going to glue them a little just so that they aren't like spinning while I'm trying to, you know, punch the hole in them. So these are just scraps, green scraps that I cut, you know, just to punch the flowers out of. I'm just using the tiniest little dot of glue to hold them. And you just want to stagger them so that you can see, you know, the different papers you used. And then you're just going to punch at least one hole in the middle. You could do up to like 3. I've done punch 3 in the middle before. And then we just need a little tiny eyelet. We'll go ahead and use this green one. Or maybe I don't want this green one. I think that light one goes better. I think these make fun little, and they stay pretty flat. I mean, I rough them up so they do end up being a little thicker than they would otherwise, but just rolling them a little. I'm going to ink it a little. You could do this before too if you don't want to do it after. If you want to be more precise. Alright, so then you got a little flower, a green flower. So I'll put that one there and we'll do another one. And I think that'll work. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we better do this one, and then this one, or this one. This one, let's use the one with a little more color in it. So this one I'm just cutting the tips. And you could use different scissors, it'll give it different looks. So I'll cut just a little more. Oh, book page, that would be a good one. I do anywhere from 4 to 5, but you can do them however you like. This one I'm cutting too small, huh? And it looks really cool, like with even some papers that you wouldn't think would look cool. Let me see if I can find the one that I did. See this, it's kind of a big writing page, you know, kind of thing. I don't know, I just think it looks cool with stuff that you normally don't go, oh, hey, that would look good as a flower. So that's kind of what I try to do when I'm like almost the more random or number letter kind of thing. I think it looks cooler. But of course that is a personal preference that you might not agree with. So I guess I'll just do 4 on that. I was going to use this one, but I like that. So we're going to just punch our hole as central as I possibly can, and then I have, this is sort of orangey, but I think it's fine. My hands are filthy already. So these are super fun, easy, and fast. And then you've got something to add to places. I kind of really like them messed up. So there's another one. I'm going to clean this part off, and then let's do like a fabric cluster or something. That's another good piece of ephemera, and it doesn't take ages to do. So we're at 54, so what else can we do in like 6 minutes? I did talk for a bit at first, but we'll still keep it to the time. Alright, so let's use some fabric pieces. Wants to stick to me. I don't know what I want to use. Okay. Oh, I'm going to use pinking shears since it's pinking sheared all around the outside. And when I do fabric clusters, I like to, you know, like vary the size of my, they don't, all I'm saying is they don't have to go like all the way to the end, all the pieces the same, because you want that sort of staggered look, you know, so it's not all the way to the end of that. This one I think I'll do just like, now that I kind of do have to sew, don't I? Or I guess I can just clip it together and say this is what it'll be when it's sewn. Probably should use, oh, I could use one of these little guys. These are just white, obviously, coffee dyed, those rosettes, fabric rosettes. This is just one of those number things from my Fern, Torn Paper and Ferns digital download. They're like the scientific, I mean it's just a date, but you know, that was the idea of that. So I'm just going to put just the tiniest bit of glue to tack these together because I'm going to stitch it together, but for the purposes of doing this. And you could use like Fabri-Tac if you don't want to sew. Just use a little bit of Fabri-Tac to hold it all. Using more on that, obviously. So you can use paper with the fabric clusters. It looks pretty cool. And I'm sure if you watch Gail, you know, she's done loads of things like this. And then you just stitch that however many times and in whatever stitch you want. Let's do it one more. I really like this fabric. It looks kind of Victorian to me or something. I think I'm gonna take this off and this end just to, I need some fraying. There's kind of a finished edge over there. Alright, there's that piece. And what else do we want to put with that? I'm just looking in my then I probably would like squish this a little. No, I'm not wanting to cover up that fabric. So maybe we should put something else behind it and make it the focal point, since I am like struggling with that. Just not wanting to do it. See, I could take this, have it come out over here more. I don't need that big of a piece. Just so you're getting that variation in texture and color and all that. I think that's too Kelly green for on there, yeah. I have this crazy butterfly. I don't even really know what this is supposed to be. I think we use these to decorate scrapbook pages. It's almost like a, what do you call that, phyllo dough, or I don't know, whatever that stuff's called. But it's really flat. I wonder if that would work. I couldn't stitch. I'd have to put it on after I stitch through there. I don't know that I like that. I could do a button. Oop, I'm at an hour. So maybe I'll stitch a button on there. Maybe I don't want this piece. Maybe, I know. The ruffle makes it thick, or that, you know, that stitching of that ruffle makes it thick. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I would sew that button on, just normal. Run a stitch through there, sew the button on, and then that cluster would be done. So we got 2 clusters, not totally finished because of the sewing. And then we have this pocket, this journaling card, and this journaling card. All right, so 7 pieces. That's not too bad in an hour. All right, I hope you guys enjoy this challenge and just have fun with it. I mean, if you make 2 pieces, doesn't matter. It's just kind of working with colors, that, because you know, I don't normally make a whole lot of green things, but I'm really liking the way these came out. So I think that that's kind of fun. And you can see I'm not only using green, I'm using other tones as well, but just that's the focal. So I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye now.